For post-shingles pain, how do we know which features to focus on? What's most important? Certainly, pure observation is the most important attitude, and noticing what has the most energy or consistency behind the symptom. Let's first look at Mesareum as a remedy. Mesareum is one of the most frequently used remedies in post-shingles pain. The eruption, which may or may not still be there, seems to be of a brownish discoloration, most often in Mesareum. But the pain of Mesareum, the pain of this post-shingles, neuralgia, pain, whatever, is often described as burning and itching. It's worse at night, and especially worse from the heat of the bed. That is key, that we have a situation in which the patient warms up under the covers in bed at night, and the pain and the itching, the burn and the itch, then becomes intolerable. The other feature that we want to see in a good Mesareum case is an exquisite sensitivity to touch or pressure. The touch of the clothing is intolerable. Pressure of the hand is intolerable. But there's a paradox here that's really quite interesting. Once in a while, we'll see that after scratching, an area that was painful and itchy seems to have a kind of chill to it, a coldness to it. Now also, if the patient is not warm or in a warm environment, the application of local heat may be of value in making the symptoms feel better. So we have these keys to the Mesareum situation: worse from the heat of the bed at night, exquisite sensitivity to touch, and oddly enough, if the patient himself is not warm as a whole, the local application of heat may be comforting. The next remedy to consider is dolichos. Dolichos is a remedy well known to have the peculiar symptom of intense, very distressing itch, and yet without any hint of skin eruption. In the case of post-shingles pain, dolichos seems to have a locality that it especially affects. It seems to have a preference for the left shoulder blade and wrapping from there around the chest to the front. There's intense itching and burning, which you see is a commonality developing. The difference, however, with dolichos is that in this case, although dolichos is generally worse at night, the post-shingles pain is often better at night, and the itch especially is better from cold applications. Now we see here a difference with Mesareum that was better from warmth, but worse becoming warm in general. Mesareum didn't have as characteristic a particular location. Arsenicum album is one of the great remedies of homeopathy. It has a huge materia medica or symptom list, very useful remedy. In anything where arsenicum album is useful, we'll almost always see in periods of distress an anxiety with a restlessness and a disproportionate weakness as a result of the problem they're experiencing. It's usually worse at night, as we also saw with Mesareum. Arsenicum album, however, is a very chilly situation. They're chilly and they want to be covered, and they're better for being covered, different from Mesareum, that's worse from the warmth of the bed. One of the key features in any arsenicum pain, very valuable as an indicator if you see it, is a burning pain, and paradoxically, a burning pain better from heat. Now this is similar to Mesareum, but Mesareum is worse the warmth of the bed, Arsenicum virtually insists on being warm. Ranunculus bulbosus. Kind of a funny name, rolls off your tongue though. Ranunculus bulbosus has a unique position in homeopathic history. It's one of the great remedies severely affected by temperature and temperature shift. Ranunculus is worse with the approach of stormy weather, worse for a change to cold weather, and is especially worse in a situation where a person is overheated and suddenly becomes chilled. For example, somebody working in the heat of the summer and then drinking a cold glass of water, or suddenly walking into a supermarket where the air conditioner is cranked up. So we have those thermal situations that are particularly important to ranunculus. Ranunculus is generally a left-sided remedy concerning its pains. It can be anywhere in the chest or the side, the trunk, but mostly left-sided. The other key feature here, besides weather, is that ranunculus is very sensitive to the slightest motion as well as pressure. Now again, Mezereum was very sensitive to touch. Dolichos was very left-sided. But here we have the two unique features: very sensitive to environmental conditions, very sensitive to the slightest motion, and that will give you ranunculus.